In this video, I would like to talk about a new space technology company called Momentus. Momentus is going to become a publicly traded company via a reverse merger deal with a SPAC. The name of the SPAC is Stable Road Acquisition Company. The deal is expected to close during the first quarter of 2021. Currently, it's trading under the ticker symbol SRAC. However, when the deal closes, it's going to be trading on the NASDAQ with the ticker symbol MNTS. So what is Momentus? Well, Momentus offers what's called a last mile delivery service for satellite. And basically what that means is multiple satellite companies can load their satellites onto the Momentus satellite transfer vehicle. The transfer vehicle is then placed atop of a rocket and launched into space. When the rocket reaches a certain altitude, the capsule detaches and then it releases all of the contents inside. Now, some of these satellites that are released by the rocket need to be placed into specific orbits. And because the rocket does not travel around the globe, that's where the Momentus transfer vehicle comes into play. It takes over from where the rocket leaves off and begins to travel around the globe to deploy satellites where their customers need them to be. Now, they do have many other ideas in the works, but this is the first service that they're going to be offering. Now, complete disclosure, I am currently an investor in the company, but I'm not sure if I'm going to be a long-term investor. And there are a few questions that I need answered before I can make that decision to become a long-term investor in Momentus. Now, just in case you guys don't know, the December 2020 launch date has been postponed until the early part of 2021. The document that you're looking at here is the investor presentation dated October of 2020. And if you go to page 15, you will see 4 launches. One of the launches was scheduled for December of 2020. However, this is the Analyst Day presentation dated November of 2020. And if you go to page 14, you will now see that all 4 launches are scheduled for 2021. So that December 2020 launch date has been postponed until the early part of 2021. Looks like it'll be around early January of 2021. Now, I don't know why it was postponed, but I would like to have seen Momentus prove their technology in commercial use, and the sooner the better. But we're just going to have to wait until January of 2021 to find that out. One thing I'd also like to know is, who is Momentus's competition? We can't assume that Momentus is going to blow away the competition because they have a partnership with SpaceX. Now, on page 5 of this Investors Day presentation, it says that Momentus is a first mover in offering in-space transportation and infrastructure services. I find that statement to be a little bit disingenuous because of the phrase first mover, and here's why. This is the home page of a company called D-Orbit. D-Orbit is headquartered in Italy. If you go to D-Orbit's homepage and scroll down until you get to the section called In Orbit Now, it says that In Orbit Now is a unique launch and deployment service designed to transport your CubeSats and microsats to space and release them into precise independent orbital slots. Now, for the foreseeable future, this is the service that Momentus will be offering as well. So this is Momentus's competition. And if you scroll down just a tad bit further, you'll see that D-Orbit was founded in 2011, while Momentus was founded in 2017. So here's the competition for Momentus, and it cannot make the claim that they're the first mover for in-space transportation. Now, if you go back up to the main menu of the D-Orbit website and click on Mission Updates, you'll see that D-Orbit had its first launch in September of 2020, and that mission was completed in October of 2020. That mission was to launch 12 satellites in various orbits around the globe. And as you can see here, it is the first time in the history of space that a company is able to validate in space its precision deployment technology. So D-Orbit is actually the first mover for in-space transportation. Now, this doesn't mean that D-Orbit is going to take significant market share from Momentus, but it's good to know who your competition is, because you never know in the future if D-Orbit will open a location in the U.S. and try to compete with Momentus in the future. Now, the final thing that I would like to find out about Momentus could be the most problematic, and it involves the company's CEO and founder, Mikhail Korkorich. Now, on November 2nd of 2020, Stable Road Acquisition Company filed an S-4 with the SEC. Now, on page 75, about halfway down the page, it states that Momentus's co-founder and CEO is an asylum seeker from the Russian Federation, and if his petition is not successful, it could adversely impact us. Now, why is that important? This is important because although Korkorich is credited with the majority of the company's inventions, he is legally barred from accessing the firm's technology by U.S. national security law. And this article gives a great analogy when it says that while executive leadership doesn't always require technical chops, it's hard to imagine SpaceX succeeding if it were against the law for Elon Musk to look at the rocket design. And it gets a little bit worse because in 2019, Korkerich was the subject of a federal investigation to determine if he violated export control laws as an investor and executive in several satellite companies. And in 2018, the U.S. government forced Korkerich to give up his ownership of another space company, Astro Digital, when it failed to pass a foreign influence review. So not only is the CEO and the founder of the company a foreign national, he has been investigated in the past. And in the past, he was forced to give up ownership of another one of his space companies. And because of these issues with the CEO, I have to rate the investment in this company as high risk. Now maybe everything will work itself out, but the last thing you want to have happen is a headline involving Momentus that reads, under investigation by the federal government. A federal investigation has happened with Korkerich in the past, so do not think that it can't happen again. Now despite these headwinds with the CEO, if Momentus can prove their technology with the first launch in 2021, they're going to be offering other ancillary services. And one of those services will be in-orbit servicing. And that's going to include the refueling or life extension for larger spacecraft, relocating or deorbiting satellites, and conducting salvage missions and robotic operations, such as repair or in-orbit assembly. So when it comes to in-orbit assembly, that can be very big in the future because maybe Momentus can help build space stations in the future. Another ancillary service that they're going to be offering is satellite as a service. And basically what that means is not only will their transfer vehicles get their customer satellites to a specific orbit, but it will also stay connected and provide continuous power, orbit keeping, orientation, and communication for the entire mission. Now this also begs the question, if they're offering satellite as a service, can they also build satellites as well? So is there an opportunity there for another revenue stream? And the most exciting service that they're going to be offering in the future is in-space mining of water and other resources. This is going to be very important because it's going to provide the raw materials needed for construction in space. So overall, I like where the company is headed. But in the near term, the citizenship issues with the CEO, Mikhail Korkerich, can be a headwind for this company. So please make note of that when you're investing. So good luck with your investing. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.